I'm going to open up a new document. I'm going to go File, New, and I'm going to make sure it's set on International Paper, and your setup may be different to this with newer versions, but the idea is the same. Hit the International A4. You could have the option of landscape and portrait, but as is fine for this image. And we can have a quick look. We can see it's standard A4 paper, 300 pixels per inch. So a nice, decent size. Okay. And there it is there. Now, the problem that we're going to have is if I drag this into our document, we can see it's still going to have that same low res. Even if we scale this up, remember I'm holding down Shift to scale proportionately. And next thing what we're going to do is just analyze our image. Now we have obviously some sort of astronaut in here, fighter pilot, and we have a face texture, we have eyes, we have seems to be some sort of glass visor over the top, and we have a helmet and some sort of armor here and some other interesting accoutrements to go along. Now we want to be able to block these out very quickly because we're going to be adding textures, shading, colors, highlights, etc. to this. And the last thing we want to do is get out our paintbrush and manually paint detail by detail. This is going to take us a very long time. We're going to use a technique that has been used in stuff like graphic design, comic books, and illustration for ages, and it's called flatting. And we're going to create a flatting layer, which basically means we can very quickly go through and select specific elements that we're going to use. Now, in order to do this properly, one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to rename our layer. Let's call this line art. Again, double click on the name in our layers panel, and I'm going to add a color to this. So I'm going to right click on that, and let's just add a color. I'm going to add violet to this, and that's just as an identifier. So we can find this layer because we're going to get a lot more layers, and we need to be able to find them really, really quickly. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our blend mode here, and I'm going to change this to multiply. Now, this is going to allow us to see the dark areas, but it's going to make the white areas pretty much invisible. It's going to vary depending on the grayscale. I'm also going to drop the opacity down. I want to get a nice light or mid-gray area, so about the 50% mark in our opacity. You can manually type that in as well. And the reason for this is we're going to have to draw actual lines. We need to see what we're going. I'll drop that down even further to about 40%. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock that. So multiply, opacity down, lock. Because I don't want to be painting on this line art layer. That's a definite no-no. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer in our layers panel there. Or you can also go to layer, new layer, or shift control N. And let's call this flatting. And this is where we're going to add our colors to this. We're going to use our tools, rectangular tool, elliptical tool, shortcut M, and our lasso tools, shortcut L. And remember, Shift and the shortcut key will cycle through if there is a variance in this case. It's L, so Shift L will go through these. We are mainly going to use the polygonal lasso tool. It's going to do straight lines. The other ones are going to be a little bit too finicky. We need some really good precision with this. Magnetic lasso tool is going to take us all over the place. These are very powerful tools. This is the one we're going to use, polygonal. A couple of things to check. Make sure the feather's down to 0, and make sure anti-alias is ticked off. Now, this is very, very important. And the reason for that is what anti-alias does is it creates a sort of a feathered edge when we're creating shapes. Photoshop is pixel-based, and if you create stuff in pixels, it's going to try and create an in-between to make things look more smooth and curved. And in this instance, this is not what we want. We want absolute precision. We want where our line ends to be a solid block color. Our flatting needs to be quite precise, and we don't want any 50%. So anti-alias unchecked. Okay. Make sure you've got flatting select and drag that below your line art. I'm going to right click on that and let's make that nice bright color to spot. I'm going to make that yellow. Okay, so let's start basically blocking this out. I'm going to bring up some colors. Now, obviously we've got our color pickers down here, but we need to add and assign particular colors to particular areas that we're going to add some detail. So I'm going to go to Window, and I'm going to go down to Swatches. And there's our swatches there. Let's drag that again. I'll usually come up with multiple panels, but let's just apply that in and expand that down a bit. And here we have some basic colors, at least to start with. Again, we've got options up here to add other ones. But you know, this is good. We can quickly go and pick out. When we're doing our flatting layer, the colors aren't really all that important. You can get stuff that you think is going to be kind of close, but in the end, we're just going to use this as a giant, easy select area. So let's go ahead and do some of these. Now again, rectangular lasso tool, anti-alias clicked on. We're going to use our bucket tool. Shortcut is G. Make sure you're on your bucket tool, not your gradient. The Shift G will cycle through. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that anti-alias is unticked and all layers is unticked. Now that's really important. Otherwise, our line work is going to interfere with where our bucket is filling in. We only want it to affect our flatting layer. Great. Well, let's get started. Remember, Control plus, Control minus to zoom in, space bar to move about, L for my lasso tool. And let's start having a quick check on what we can actually fill in here. So let's maybe have a look at this face here. We can see we've got some hair coming here. Some of the areas we're just going to have to try and figure out what they're doing ourselves. So, you know, this looks like a bit of hair, but it's not quite finished off. This is because we ended up starting with a fairly low res image, but I'm going to click through, and what we want to aim for, I'll zoom in a little bit closer, is with our lasso tool, make sure you're in between the lines. We don't want to sort of jump outside the lines. If you do, if you make a mistake, hit the backspace key, and you can always step back a few spaces. And we just want to lock in where that is going to be. Now remember, Control plus, Control minus is our friend. Now, I've started off with something fairly small. That's not really amazing, but I'm going to fill that in anyway. I'm going to grab my thing there. I'm going to go to G for bucket. I'm going to fill that in. And I'm going to continue on. I'm going to go back to my lasso tool. Now you can add to this by holding down Shift. And we can add to our selection of our marching ants here. We've got a little bit of hair coming through here that I want to add on to. Or we can deselect by doing Control D and starting again. Now I'm going to deselect that. I'm going to grab my lasso tool. I'm actually going to start in here, and I'm just going to sort of try and figure out where that line work's going to be. Let's block that in. And I'm just going to double click to close that loop. Kind of crossed over nicely. G and fill in. Deselect, check. Now, one of the things you want to check for is not making any sort of getting any white areas in here. If we zoom in, you can see I've got a little bit there, so I'm just going to grab my bucket tool, sorry, my lasso tool, L, select that, G, and just fill that in. Great. Now I'm focusing on doing these little areas first because there is a nice little trick that I'm going to show you really quickly. And let's quickly grab these ones as well. Backspace. I have to make it up a little bit. As we get towards the end, our line work is going to actually become less important. We're going to try and almost make it redundant, depending on the style that you want to go for. Let's block that in and paint bucket. Now, if we quickly go back to our line art, I can make that invisible. You can see all these are big, solid shapes. The line art happens to be covering. If I unlock that, bring the opacity up, we can see it covers that nicely. So let's bring that opacity back down again. Great. Let's lock that.